So the question on the table is, does cold calling and cold emailing work for residential cleaning businesses? Now, this is going to be a twofold answer because I feel like it's not going to be a definite yes or a definite no. At the end of the day, you guys, we need leads, right? At the end of the day, we need clients, right? We need the two most functional things within our business that most people struggle with the most is how to find cleaners and how to find clients, right? Now, I understand that multiple people are going to come into this industry with multiple different levels of access to income, assets, startup money, startup cash, right? Whether if you have access to, a good credit, and you can invest in yourself and get a good loan or a line of credit or a business credit card. However it is you want to make that leap of faith into your business, right? The beauty about this industry is how you're able to start it without having to have access to as much capital. Right now, yes, is there a benefit of having access to capital? Yeah, because you can put it into those lead generation vehicles, right? So whether it's a third party or it's ads with Facebook or ads, with on Google, right? That is the paid version. Now, I always say that look, you're either going to come into this business with assets or some elbow grease, right? And I've seen it from multiple different perspectives, right? Inside the academy, there's thousands of students, right? We helped so many done for you clients last year, and we worked hand on hand with so many different clients from different various backgrounds of assets, right? Whether they started with a budget or like, I don't have the budget for a large for ads at this moment, but what I do have, right, is some elbow grease. What I do have is as a work ethic. What I do have is I'm going to be out here grinding and working and doing all the things, right? And I can work with that. I can always work with that because those individuals that do come with that mindset and still believe in the success of their business always wins. Like always. Okay. So does cold calling and cold emailing work? Mm. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not going to give like a yes or no answer. Okay, you guys. The thing about it is, there's really no guarantee to the output, right? The output is how many book jobs, right? Like normally with leads, there's some kind of predictability, right? Even those platforms will give you an idea like, hey, if you put down 300 a week, you're going to get anywhere from 15 to 25 leads, right? And you're like, okay, well, my close ratio is going to be 20 to 30%. I'm going to be able to talk to as many people, close as many people. So you can kind of estimate what your close rate and how many leads and how many bookings you could have per week, right? Where with this way, the cold emailing, cold calling, there's really no predictability of the outcome. You don't know how many people you're going to actually talk to. You don't know how many conversations you're going to actually have. You don't know how many people are going to actually say yes. You know how many people is going to, say here, apply it for our vendor list, right? The only thing that's a guarantee is the input, and knowing that the amount of input you make increases your odds for your outcome, right? So many times I talk to people that are in this predicament to where like they're trying to spin the wheel and get more leads and do all these, but I ask them like, yo, well, how many people did you reach out this week? And they're like, oh, 3 or 4. Did you hear those birds chirping? I thought I did too. Like, yo, you can't do nothing with that, right? Like, that's not going to get it. Boo. It's not. Unfortunately, it's not. It's going to take some true, like, tenacity to do it this way, right? I researched that and I researched like how many outreach should you do per an 8-hour day, right? And I think it said roughly between 70 to 80 calls per day, right? Anywhere from 50 to 60 emails sent per day or outreach per day. Got something in my eye. Look, I was talking about birds and something got in my eye. But no, but like I said, like it just wasn't enough, right? So like your number has to increase, right? So I was trying to figuring out like what the schedule should look like. Because I said I do have a handful of clients that this is their path. But you want to know the cool thing about it? I was going to share this at the end, but I really want to say it now. I just had a student be able to close in and lock in a deal, you guys, with a property manager company south of Florida, where they have 2,200 properties, and they will be doing all of the move out cleanings for the 2,200 properties, you guys. Yo, that is a contract that's like, whoo, like mama, we made it, right? Like that is such a super dope opportunity and contract. And now this company It's she got the region for locally, right? South of Florida, but this is a US based company, meaning that they have other locations throughout the US, and if they do well here, they'll get more opportunities, right? And I know that sounds super great. You're probably like, "Oh my god, that's so awesome. She's so lucky." Right? You're probably saying things like this, right? And doubting yourself that you can achieve that level of success. But see, what often happens is that we hear about that kind of a win, but what's not also shared is that she spent a year, right, with her business was not doing so well. She spent a year using third party lead generation sites and was struggling with closing leads and lost some money doing so, right? And then to where she's like, okay, well, I don't have the funds to be able to invest in that. So now all I have is this, right? Like what you didn't see is that she opened up one location and then didn't work too well and she relocated out to another state. So she opened up another location in that new state where she was residing in and still struggled there. And then she moved again. I'm like, yo, let's just try it here and see what happens. Worst case scenario doesn't work out, but we don't have to change some logistically in the back end of the business to be able to now operate in that other state. And literally, you guys, before she even relocates to this other state, she has this deal signed, locked and signed, signed, sealed, and locked. Yo, it's late. Y'all know how it be sometimes. Y'all love me. So that's why y'all watch all the videos. Even though I be seeing some of y'all comments be like, was she yawning? Yes, I was yawning. Okay. But anywho, you guys, what you guys didn't see was that, right? And it's easy to talk about the win. Oh my gosh, she locked in a contract with 2,200, properties with this company, and she's going to be able to do all of them. And if you do well, she's going to be able to get more opportunity. But you guys didn't see her struggle. You didn't see her almost give up. You didn't see her crying and frustrated and overwhelmed and having to take some stops and pauses and be like, yo, Jazz, I need to just chill on ice for a moment. I'm not going anywhere. Just put me on ice. And I need to just get my thoughts together, right? And then just come back for the major W. I love a good comeback story, right? So the thing about, does it work? Yes. The system works if you work it. I don't know why this has been like my slogan for these past couple of videos, because at the end of the day, you guys, business is just all about a matter of systems and learning the right one and testing the right one and implementing the right one and doing it long enough until it works for you. But most times people try to skip some steps. They try to skip some steps and go all the way fast forward to the end and it doesn't work, and either give up or they'll go back to the drawing board and figure out what they skip and try to redo it the right way. Or if it's not working fast enough, then they're like, oh, this business doesn't work. No, baby, the business does work. Because besides the thousands of students in the academy that are doing the business and it works, and besides the 7,500 plus members in the Facebook group that's still operating their business, that it does work. It does work. It just sometimes you want it to work too fast, right? Or sometimes you have to watch your level of belief, because sometimes your mindset is just not equipped to be able to handle the capacity of what a successful business could actually do. Or you don't have the systems put in place to handle support the infrastructure of what a successful business could do, right? There's so many behind the scenes moving pieces. And I know I'm totally going off topic, but this must be said. Okay. So cold calling, cold emailing does work. Now let's talk about list building, and let's talk about when are the best days and times to do that. I recommend list building on Fridays and Mondays. Mondays is typically the beginning of the week. People are either cranky because it's Monday. People don't like Mondays. They're either tired and overwhelmed from the evening. Like they're coming into a buttload of emails, their meetings, and catching up for things they didn't finish at the end of last week, right? Fridays are more like they have their half not, right? So like they trying to do low key, not, try to hurry up and end the day so they can get ready for the weekend, right? So the prime time to actually contact these individuals are going to be on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I recommend having Monday and Friday be your list building day. That way, all you're doing is focusing on building the list, finding contacts, adding them to the list, finding contacts, adding them to the list. Okay. Same thing for Friday. So that way you're prepared for the day, for the next couple of days. Now, if you know your goal is to reach out to 80 to 100 contacts per day, right? So let's say for easy numbers, take 100. There's 3 days. So you're going to need a list of 300. So that means on Monday, you need to find 150. On Friday, you need to find 150. So when you make those calls Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're going to have those lists and you'll be able to contact them uninterrupted. Okay. Not like, oh, I don't have a phone number. Let me contact this. And then now your days really have spent searching and then you're getting distracted. So it's not really a win. Okay. I thought my video cut off. I was going to be upset. Okay. So it's not really, a uninterrupted workflow. Okay. And I was going to like go over scripts, you guys, but at the end of the day, we have access to ChatGPT. Be as detailed as possible as the services you offered, your company's name, where you're located, your name, contact information, and ask them to create you a nice little email script. Ask them to create you some email follow-ups so that way you are following up with these individuals. And then if you need a phone script, you can use one. I really don't like to use phone because it's really just introducing yourself and your business and what you do and what you can provide to them. Hey, my name is Jasmine. I work at Best Friends Maids Services here in Dallas, Texas. We offer amazing move-out cleaning service, and we would love to be able to partner with you to provide move-out cleaning services for your clients. Okay, I know that's really fast, but it's very simple, very easy. 1, 2, 3. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't want to sound robotic. Okay. And now you're probably wondering, well, like Jasmine, this is the residential business. Like, who are we cold calling? Right? Because we're not cold calling homeowners, right? Now, unless you can partner with a real estate company that can give you a list of new buyers or new lease, like if they, this is something I'm totally thinking of on the dome. So I don't even know if this really is available or accessible. I know that there is this website that real estate people that's in real estate utilize um to be able to do like real estate deals and like wholesaling deals where you can filter out a list of new occupancies, like people that just recently bought or recently leased. And if you can get that list out, then yes, you can contact them, right? But essentially who you're going to be contacting is companies that need your services for residential cleaning, as in property managers, real estate agents, real estate brokers, right? Because every time they have a showing, they need that house clean. Every time somebody moves out, they need that house clean. Every time somebody moves in, they need that house clean, right? So it's easy for them to be able to go to their set vendor list of qualified companies that's already in the system to be able to provide those services, okay? You'd also find that list on LinkedIn, okay? And you can also find that list on various Facebook groups and network groups and things like that, okay? But the thing about it, you guys, at the end of the day, it does work. It's just you cannot predict the outcome. You can only predict how much work you put into it, okay? The more you put into it, the higher you increase your odds of actually contacting people and actually booking and creating relationships and partnerships with these set companies, okay? I hope this helps. Hope this helps for those that are trying to figure out other ways to bring in clientele. If it does, you guys have more questions, more answers, more questions you want me to answer on YouTube, drop them in the comments. Let me know, and I'll make sure to put that on our video list for the next video. All right. Until next time. See y'all later. Bye, y'all.